The Dallas Cowboys have had somewhere between 1 and 5 major helmet redesigns since they started in 1960. We're going to go over all of the little tweaks that they've made since the beginning of the Super Bowl era, which is 1967, and we're going to let you decide. Because this is a tough one, because when you're the Cowboys, sometimes little changes, you know, everything's bigger in Texas. Those become big changes, big deals. So let's get right into this one, Steve.
Yes.
Silver blue or blue silver, which do you prefer?
Silver blue.
Silver blue. So the Cowboys wear a silver blue helmet. This is different than every other silver helmet in the NFL. It is unique to them. I think it's cool, I guess.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
And they've got their classic star, which I think makes obvious sense. And then they have some stripes on there. And the combination of all of this stuff has changed a little bit over the years. And I want to know what people think is their favorite helmet from the Cowboys. I have a favorite. Steve, I think you might have it. Well, you probably hate them all.
I don't love any of them.
So in 1967, they basically changed to the design that they wear today. The big change here was they added a little bit of a navy border around the star. So pre-1967, it was the same silver blue helmet with a navy star with a white border.
I'll give them that. That's impressive. Talk about the most traditional team in all of NFL. Dude, they haven't changed their design.
Such a slight little thing.
A little drop shadow is all it took, you know?
During that time frame, though, they have worn a throwback design, which is a white helmet with a navy star and a navy and white stripes. And they've also have a new alternate helmet, which is a very similar white design, except for it has the exact same star that's on this helmet here. So you've got the navy star, white border, navy border on a white helmet.
Yeah, it's like a mixture, a hybrid of their throwback with their current stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then in 1976, in honor of this great nation's bicentennial, they went really pretty far out on the limb here, and they took off one of the navy stripes and they put on a red stripe. Red, white, and blue, Steve.
Watch out, man. Now, I will say, even though that seems like a small change, I do think that this looks great. That little drop shadow around the star is barely noticeable, but that red stripe, it just makes sense. And you'll see them breaking that out more and more, especially in November games.
It seems as though they break that out when it's kind of like a Veterans Day game. Mm-hmm. Steve, I want you to tell the folks why the Cowboys are named America's team.
Well, they were a powerhouse, man. They were the most winning team for a long time. So they have the most consecutive seasons winning, which is 20 years in a row from 1966 to 1985. I mean, that's pretty impressive, man. They've had 8 Super Bowl appearances from 71 to 96, of which they've won 5. So there's plenty of reason why they could be America's team in the 80s. But it's been a minute. It's been about, 27 years as a Giants fan. I have to remind
Well, that's why I wanted to hear you say all that stuff, Steve, because I'm sure it's painful to talk about it.
Hey, man, it's ABC, right? Anybody but the Cowboys.
So in 2022, that's when they rolled out their alternate helmet, and they've worn it in a few games since. Steve, this is my favorite helmet. It's clean as can be. I love it. It's got a white helmet, white face mask, a nice contrasting navy in there. I think that it would be interesting if they wanted to switch the face mask up on this. I wouldn't use the dark navy that is kind of our stock navy color like the Bears use, but the Colts blue or Montreal blue is almost a perfect match to the navy. So if you're out there and you're thinking about building your own Cowboys helmet that make it a little bit unique, that's kind of what I would go with. I'd put the navy face mask on there, and that would look really nice on that white helmet.
To me, I knew that this was going to be your favorite because it's close to that Stormtrooper look as you can get. I'll say my favorite is the current, just iconic blue, the silver blue. Cowboys fans need to speak up in this video and tell us, has it been too long? Is this uniform getting a little long in the tooth? Is it time to change the helmet?
I think they love it, and I think they're going to go to the death at saying that they love it and they don't want to change a thing.
Probably the people over 40 would say that, but I would imagine the younger crowd is like, they don't know. So, they're looking for something cool.
Another thing that they haven't changed literally since they started is how they tag the helmets. So the players know whose is whose, or the equipment managers really knows whose helmet is whose, and they use this little device. What's it called, Steve?
It's a Dymo label maker.
The Dymo label maker, that if you are of a certain age or older, maybe you used one of these things in, I don't know, grammar school?
Yeah, it has an old turn dial. You have to press it and embosses the letters on the tape, and it's pretty old, man.
Yep, and if you look at the back of the helmets, that's how they put the names on the back of the helmets. They're the only team that does it, and I think that they have been doing it that way since their very first year in 1960.
Yeah, can't stop doing it now.
So I think that that's kind of cool.
It is. It's cool.
It's such a tradition-based team, everything about it.
Yep. Texas, man, they're not going to change because somebody tells them to.
Yeah, for better or worse. This helmet that we have here, we have 3D bumpers on, but Cowboys don't wear 3D bumpers.
Not going to do it.
They're not going to do it. we tried. I mean, we made these for them as samples, and here, guys, these are pretty cool. I mean, I think it looks better, but
it does.
What do I know? That's the question for you guys out there. Do
Yeah.
you think the Cowboys should at least wear 3D bumpers?
Come on.
Yes or no?
Yeah, I think so. So this one was all about the Cowboys. If the Cowboys are not your team, be sure to check out the playlist because we are doing all other teams.